Yo, what's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and today I want to go over 5 things that you should definitely be adding to your essential to-do list. Every time you come back from a quest, these are things that you want to make sure you are doing, things that you're checking up on, things that you are keeping in motion, because they'll not only amplify your hunting experience, give you more items, but some of them lead to some pretty cool things, and some of them lead to money, which, let's be honest, we all need. So if you guys do enjoy this and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. I also want to take a moment to very kindly thank Nintendo for sponsoring this video. But let's get started. So number 1 is to visit the Kahoot nest. Some of you guys may have found this already, some of you may not. If you go over to the Buddy Island and you go and look up at this tree here, you can actually climb this. You can either use your wirebug to jump up onto the platform and then run up the vines, or you can just go around the back of the tree and there are vines that go right from the ground to the top. But at the top of this is the Kahoot nest. Now, this you want to check between quests because there will be items that you can gather from here. Now, in truth, you don't have to check it every single quest because items do stack up here. You can check it every, say, 4 or 5 quests because typically you can get up to 5 items from here. Now, sometimes you'll get random small things like fish, but other times you can get some really good items. 2 of the most noteworthy ones being eggs, which obviously sell for lots of money. In this situation, you can see I got a golden egg. Plus, other times you'll get Lagny apples, and Lagny apples are the resource you use at both the Argosy, the Meowth, and also the Buddy Dojo in order to effectively amplify your palicos and your buddies. Make it so they can gather more materials, return with more items, or just train more effectively. So, make sure you're checking this every few quests to ensure that you're getting the most items possible. Moving on from there to number 2, you obviously want to be visiting the Argosy on a regular basis, both as a means to check up on your items, but also to buy rare items. The Argosy has 2 functions this time around. It functions partly as your farm, so obviously when you send off your buddies on submarines, this is how you will multiply items. So naturally, you want to check up on this if you're farming honey, bugs, other things like that. But more specifically and more importantly to this point is that you want to check out the rare items section. The Argosy will sell rare items and these will rotate. Sometimes they're simple things like Kelby horns, pale extract, even traps. Other times she'll stock items that you can sell for money. Keep in mind everything you buy from the Argosy is done with Kamura points as opposed to currency, as opposed to Zenny. So if you see items like this, like the Dunduramin, or you see things like the Burner Stone, or just other things like that, sometimes there'll be stones named after different villages in the past. These range from selling as low as 1,000 Zenny up to 10,000 Zenny, and given that you can often buy them for as little as 500 points, this is easy money. So given that the stock rotates every time you return from a quest, make sure you are regularly checking the Argosy. After that, you of course want to make sure that your Meowth and your buddies are training. Meowth are where you can send out your palicos and your palamutes to different maps so they can gather items for you. It's also worth noting, once you get further in the game and you unlock it, you can occasionally see rampages turn up here as well, and sometimes if you send them on those and they return, they have a ton of items. But you want to make sure they're always going out because they do actually bring back a good selection of items, so it's definitely worth keeping them in the loop, in the rotation every time. And of course, if you want to be leveling up your buddies, you also want to make sure that they're training. Next up on the list, you want to go over and visit the vendor. That can either be Kagero, the merchant, out in the open area, or if you go to the guild hub, there is the cat at the desk. Either way, speaking to the merchant is a thing you should regularly do because sometimes you'll return and he'll have a sale, but more importantly, sometimes he'll also have a lottery. Now, lotteries can just give you different items. That is pretty useful, but occasionally you'll also have a special item, a collectible item, that can be won as a reward. I'll be honest, I always get super unlucky and I very rarely win them, but when you do get them, you can get cool statues that you can put in your room. Plus, once you get to the point in the game where you unlock them, you can also go to the vendor to check up on your melding, because this will be how you get your charms and your talismans as you progress throughout the game. And then finally, of course, as you are playing throughout the game, less so once you get to endgame, but as you're progressing through the story, regularly make sure that you check the map because, of course, if people want to speak to you, if they have quests for you or they have things to give you, then look out for little speech bubbles. You can make this a lot easier by bringing out the map and it will simply highlight the location where somebody wants to speak to you. You can go over there and chat to them, and 9 times out of 10, they'll either give you a side quest, which will lead to something like a new dango, a new weapon, or a new piece of armor, or alternatively, it might just be that they've unlocked something else. Either way, visit people wanting to chat. But for the time being, that is pretty much it. Those are a few things that you should do every time you come back from a quest, or at least every few quests, if you don't want to miss out. Hope you guys found it helpful. If there's anything else that you guys think of, then let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269, Paradise Central and Invest More streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.